Oh, good. We're actually recording today. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you to New Moon Manifesting. Today is February 22nd of 2020. So we have a bunch of twos, in fact, 5 twos today. So in numerology, those 5 twos are going to equate to a 10, which reduced to a single digit is a 1. So this is about new beginnings. It's about new you. It's about, and I know we're still in that last phase of the astrology calendar. We've got this as our last one, but this is really a time of integrating the spiritual lessons that you've learned, letting go of what no longer serves you, and preparing for the new astrological year. And we have a ton of support that's going to be working with us. I'm Janet Grosskost. I'm a metaphysical teacher and healer, and I'm going to be guiding you through some information about the Pisces energy, the other planetary influences, information about manifesting, including essential oils. And then we will open up the lines for questions you have or anything you want to share related to your manifesting. Then we will wrap up with a guided imagery meditation, which we are going to be opening and expanding the third eye, since Pisces relates to our intuition. So we'll actually be working both with gut energy, because our gut instinct has a big role in our ability to trust ourselves and bring that into physical form. So we'll expand both the solar plexus as well as the third eye. So let me pop up our it's probably here, and share you, and let's get into our new moon presentation mode. And there we've got it. So as I mentioned, this is about endings and new beginnings. It's finishing up the astrological year and really identifying your true north and where you're moving in this next year. So Pisces is a water sign. This is very fluid. It's about teaching you to be adaptable and flexible. It is about being dreamy and dreaming big and tuning into the dreams that you're experiencing at night, as well as the daydreams that you have. Daydreaming is one of my favorite things, where I just kind of sit and gaze out the window and have a cup of tea, and then I'll just write about whatever is coming up. This is where your intuition and higher self can really communicate with you and express the messages that you really need to be following. You're asking the questions, but maybe not always listening for the answer, because it's not going to come in this booming red letter, flashing sign type situation that says, follow me, go this way, turn left. It's going to be subtle. It's subtle messages, the subtle insights that we have. And Pisces really helps us tune in, not only intuitively, but to our gut instincts and follow that. Because it's a water sign, it's going to be highly emotional and very thought-provoking, because we have Mercury also hanging out with the sun and moon right now. And Mercury is actually retrograde, so it's going to have a big influence on our spiritual growth, our spiritual practice, our emotional body, all of those elements. So just being aware of that can help you address those moments where you're feeling emotionally out of control. It's okay to cry and break down, right? That's a part of the healing process. It's a release. So if you do have those moments and need to take that time, by all means do. You want to make sure that you are slowing down when Mercury is retrograde. So it's all about recommunication, rewiring, setting new intentions, all of those things that help you and up-level who you are. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Mercury energy in just a moment. So with this new moon, we have the sun and moon and Mercury. The sun and moon are at 4 degrees, Mercury is at 9 degrees, and we've got Neptune still hanging out in Pisces, and it's at, I believe, 17 degrees. So the biggest influences are the sun, moon, and Mercury. Again, all in water signs. This is about communicating new ideas, or even just getting new ideas. Where are your thoughts? Are you aligning them with what you really want, or are you aligning them with your fears? So only you can manage that. You can learn everything in the world and have other people do energy work for you, but nobody can manage your thoughts but you. So it's important to take the time, stop any of the rampant negative thoughts, the berating yourself, those types of things, and pull yourself back into a centered place where you are enough. And we're actually going to integrate that both with the third eye, the heart, and the solar plexus today. This is a time of energy and emotional transformation. So Mercury is going to help you identify some of the emotions that may be holding you back, some of those fears, some of the concerns that you may have. So tune into what you're feeling emotionally. Use a journal to write it out. There's nothing more powerful than writing out emotionally what's taking place and going on in your mind and body. And in doing that, you're able to fine tune and actually release those emotions. And in creating that succinct summary of what you're feeling, you'll be able to pinpoint maybe specific incidences or current situations that are triggering those types of emotions. Because if they're coming up, it's a message that those are ready to get healed, and you're learning that lesson and able to move on. This new moon, especially with Mercury, is helping you review your spiritual practice, see the things that work for you. Sometimes we go through the motions and things work for us for a while, but as we grow and evolve, our spiritual practice needs to grow and evolve too. So just be aware of this so that you're honoring what your spirit and soul need, and that you're communicating physically with your body as well. Since Mercury is with the sun and moon, setting intentions with this new one is going to help amplify maybe projects that you've been thinking about or ideas that have been on the back burner. Before we actually started the recording, I was telling people that I've been thinking about, I've been talking about opening a wellness center for over 20 years. And I finally have figured out what it's supposed to be. It's not just an overall wellness center with, say, like massage and various body treatments, but my focus is on leadership development and bringing a new level of awareness to leaders and supporting them in their healing process so that they're better leaders and can lead the teams that we're working with. So this wellness center is actually going to be located in Sedona, Arizona, and I'll be traveling there in the next couple of weeks to get figure out where it's going to be and all of that good stuff. But that's the power of setting intentions. And this year is all about physically manifesting. And we've got a huge booster of energy with this new moon that is supporting you in taking action in physical form. So not only do we have the 4 planets in the water sign, so that's all about your emotions, but the tangibility, the earth energy is supporting us. We've got Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars all in Capricorn. So Pluto and Saturn are now kind of moving away from each other. Pluto will be moving into Aquarius next month in March. Jupiter will be in Capricorn until the end of the year. Jupiter is that the planet of luck and expansion, expanding how you're showing up in the world, helping you identify what your personal authority is and standing
Did you do
in that so that you can not only stand in your authority, but how do you project that out into the world? Mars is going to be, it's not conjunct, it's actually, anyway, Mars is being influenced because it's also at 4 degrees in Capricorn. So it's going to be influencing the sun and moon and enhancing your spiritual insight and showing you what the next step is. So again, if you've been having these ideas and formulating them and starting to get them out into the world, Mars is going to be the action. It's going to be that activator that really pushes things forward. This is going to be a time of surrender, letting go of the thoughts that have been holding you back. So that's going to be Saturn and Pluto and that restructuring that's taking place. And again, as these are moving towards Aquarius, it's going to open you up to new levels of understanding yourself and innovation. Another question you can ask yourself is, what's my next step? Where am I going? Where am I moving towards? And Pisces is a sign of surrender. So recognize that the watery fluidity of the energy that's moving through our body is where the emotions reside. So this is a time of surrender, tuning into your higher self and what your soul's desires are, and then taking action in physical form. Another big player that we have in earth energy is Uranus. Uranus is also, it's at 3 degrees, I believe, in Taurus right now. And it's at a sextile position with both Mars and the the sun and moon. So Uranus is all about the unexpected. It's about innovation. It's about the higher mind of God. So this is bringing in something you're ready for. So as I was mentioning, the shift that's taking place with me with moving to Sedona, it's something that I'm ready for. I've been planning for this. I wasn't expecting it to be in Sedona, but I'm actually very excited because it's not the total, it is the desert, but it's not like Phoenix where it's so hot all the time, and actually get some winter weather. So there are some seasons there. So what shifts are taking place in your physical reality, in your physical world? Uranus is going to bring new opportunities to you. And if you're ready for them, if you're not poo-pooing the idea and shutting it down, I could have easily said, oh, anywhere but the desert, then I would have shut down that opportunity. So I'm going with the flow and recognizing that the opportunities will expand when I get out of my own way. And that's what the thought is. That's where Uranus is, not only Uranus, but Mercury is supporting us. Mercury is letting us know that sometimes we have to get out of our own way, get out of our own thought processes, and listen to the subtle voices of our intuitive self. So just be aware of what's taking place with you, and that will support you in manifesting these elements in the physical plane. So let's look specifically at a chart. I pulled this up. This person has a Pisces. They are born in Pisces. For them, it's taking place in the 10th house. So this little tiny numbers in the middle, that tells you the house that this is in. So the 10th house relates to your outer authority, how you're presenting yourself in the world, the work that you do, what you want to be known for, those types of elements. So you want to know what house that this astrology sign is working through, because all of the things that we have just spoken about will definitely influence you. So if this is taking place in your 5th house that relates to love and working with children and working with your inner child and those types of things, there may be deep healing that's taking place at this time. So recognizing and understanding where this is taking place with you will help you in manifesting more. So as I mentioned, the sun and moon are here. And then over here, this is the sextile we've got going on with Mars. And these are all the planets that are taking place in Capricorn. And then over here, we've got the sextile that's taking place with Uranus. So you can see that there's this beautiful transition that's taking place with all of these planets, and they're communicating with each other and working with each other to help you recognize what you really want, understanding what you've mastered, what you're committing to next, right? Because Mercury is going to help you in communicating that new message, getting those ideas in place. And then Mars is going to help accentuate that and get it out into the world and how you want to be seen in the world. So Pisces new moon also relates to unconditional self-love. So how are you taking care of yourself? Your self-care is one of the most positive attributes you can do to manifesting more. It supports you in keeping your vibration raised up, and then you're attracting more of the good stuff that you want to. Pisces supports you in enhancing your spiritual practice and listening to your emotional body. And then finally, with the Mercury retrograde conjunct the sun for the next basically 3 weeks, it goes until March 10th, I believe. This is about ending soul contracts. So if there are life lessons that are incredibly difficult for you to work through, this is going to be an opportunity to end those soul contracts with unconditional love. It's an opportunity for you to tune into the things that really enhance your spiritual practice and express those in a more fulfilling way. This Mercury conjunct the sun is about you standing out and shining in the world, letting your light shine. So you may have stellar new ideas. You may be embracing your intuition more fully so that you are able to communicate and express the message that you want. This is also an opportunity for you to recognize your soul lessons and either end those soul contracts and life lessons so that you can move forward into the new astrological new year next month. And this Mercury with the sun is supporting you in standing in your power. It's helping you recognize the person that you are valuable and deserving and worthy, and you are enough. So recognizing these elements, seeing any places where you're still holding on to that old energy will support you in letting it go and honoring your soul. Some of my favorite essential oils, you may want to use these during our meditation. Clary Sage, it helps with spiritual clarity, understanding yourself, as well as tuning into your intuition. I love applying it and sandalwood and patchouli just over my third eye and the back of my neck to open up the third eye and allow all that intuitive information. We're always receiving intuitive information, and then it comes into the third eye, the pineal gland, the thalamus, hypothalamus, and that's the processing center. That's where the information comes in. It can either get stuck there, or we can be open and allow ourselves to receive the information and process it. So using essential oils will help and enhance opening up that third eye. Rum and chamomile is another one of my favorites because it supports you in following your spiritual purpose. If you have soul-searching questions, rosemary is a great essential oil to support you. If you're interested in learning more about essential oils to support whatever physical or emotional elements you're going through, please reach out to me. We can set up a 15-minute wellness consult to see where you're at and what essential oils will support you. So let's stop sharing, and I want to open up the lines. If you do have background noise, you can press mute, but I will unmute you all. Oh, unmute. All right, you are all unmuted. Welcome, everybody. I see a bunch more people jumped on while I was in presentation mode. Anything specific come up that I addressed or you have questions about with this new moon?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, love.
Hi, I just wanted to say I got on a little bit late. You had already started talking, but I caught the tail end of you saying something about you finally going to be going on to Sedona.
Yeah.
And I am so happy for you because I've been called to Sedona for many years too, but not a 20-year journey, but called to Sedona too, but I haven't gotten myself there yet. But now that you're going to be there, it's such more motivation for me to get my shit together so I can go on. And
we'll have to talk because I'd love to hear what's going on with you, because I know that this is going to be a collaborative effort. So yeah, I would love to connect with you and see what your draw is.
I'm just so happy for you and anyone else on the line. I'm not going to take up too much time, but this is my time too. I was born during Mercury retrograde, so like things are never usually, they're hectic around me, but not for me. So usually, you know, this is still a really good time for me. But I just want to say thank you for doing the work that you're doing, and I love you so much, and everybody else. So that's it. I'm going to mute my mic so someone else can have an opportunity to say something.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. I love you too.
All right. See you later.
Bye-bye.
I have a question.
Yes, dear.
What if you don't have any Pisces in your chart?
Well, that's okay, right? Because that just means that it's going to, if you had planets that were actually in Pisces, it can muddle the energy. So for you, it's just looking at the house and identifying what house that this is falling in for you. And then as we talked about, okay, well, how is the sun, moon, Mercury helping me enhance my spiritual growth, my practice? What am I still healing with Neptune still in the mix? So that includes addictions, things that are hidden, those types of elements, and bringing those to the surface. So just because you don't have specific planets in it, doesn't mean it isn't impacting you. It's just maybe not impacting you in the way that it may with other people that actually do.
Okay.
Other questions?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for having this phone call.
Sure.
I really appreciate it. Sure. I have a question. I hear you speaking about finding out where Pisces is located in your chart, the house that it's in. How does that relate if you are a Pisces? If you are a Pisces, does that not apply? Does that just mean it's your whole?
Of course it applies. Yes, it's going to be more influential for anyone who has their sun, moon, or their ascendant in Pisces. So my moon is actually at 4 degrees tomorrow, right? When the moon, I didn't even mention when the new moon actually is. It's tomorrow morning at 10:31 a.m. Eastern time. So yes, if you are a Pisces, it's definitely going to influence you. Happy birthday, by the way, and happy birthday to Phyllis today, who actually her birthday is today, and all you other Pisces that are out there. So this is, to me, when the astrology hits your specific birth chart like that, this is about new beginnings. This is your new year, right? Like you're starting this whole new year, this whole new revolution around the sun.
Yes.
And it really is integrating, okay, what have I learned in the past year? And honoring what that is, what the lessons are, what things you're still resolving, what things you're ready to let go of, where you're ready to step into a bigger, better version of you. And then identifying what house is falling into is very important too, because it often isn't, unless your ascendant and sun are in the first house, then it's probably going to be in some other house. So understanding where that hits for you will help you fine tune any goals. For example, if it was in your second house, that would be related to how you make money in the world, right? So you could do things that are
am I looking for,
and those types of things.
So what am I looking for? Where what hits in what house?
So
where
the houses are the little tiny numbers in the middle.
Right.
And then you want to look at that, and then you can do a Google search for Pisces in second house or ninth house or whatever house it's falling into, and then you'll get a whole bunch of websites that will tell you, various characteristics that relate to that, and you can look at that and say, okay, yes, these are the lessons that I've learned related to that. And these are the ones that I'm still working on or I'm ready to embrace more of. So it becomes very powerful when it's actually your sun, moon, or ascendant.
Okay. And when we have, if we want to do like prayers or rituals and things like that for the new moon, do we have to do it exactly at 10:31 tomorrow when the new moon occurs, or do we have a specific amount of time?
Sure, that's a great question. You actually have about 2.5 days from the point of the new moon, and the moon will be in Pisces, and then it's going to start moving into Aries after about 2.5 days. So you could do a ritual tomorrow night or Monday night, and you still got some time to work with it. So yes.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much.
Questions. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello?
Next. Yes.
Yeah, Barbara.
Hi,
I was just asking a question. I saw on my chart that I don't have any planets in Pisces. The only Pisces thing that I have is on the wheel by the 8th house. And what does it mean when it's by the 8th house?
So the 8th house relates to deep spiritual healing. It relates to transformation. It relates to death and rebirth. It relates to shared resources, taxes, those types of things. So if there's anything that's taking place in your life related to those, just recognize that it's important for you to tune into your intuition, because that's going to be Pisces and that gut energy, that gut instinct, so that you are attuned with where your higher self is really leading you, and it's not being over, you're not over processing it with your thoughts.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions?
Are you going to ask a question?
Well, anyone have anything come up that they want to share about what they're manifesting at this time? Because I know you're all projecting your energy towards me getting this place in Sedona, right? You're all invited. We're going to have big parties every quarter.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
I would share. Jana, I really am actually, because I'm looking forward to actually finally meeting in person in Sedona.
I know, it's crazy, right? Like I talk with all these people and I feel like I know everybody, and then I realize I've never met people in person except for So on the call, if I met in person, Rachel, and that's been what, like 6 years ago in New York, when I was speaking there.
This means a lot to me. You can't record it.
I know.
And I'm excited because I do want to participate in all your leadership training and all that. Because, you know, I mean,
Thank
you know,
you.
we've already started with all that. So
I know. The groundwork has been laid, and now I feel this year it's literally exploding. So I'm so excited about what's taking place. So
I'm
It's
noticing
exciting.
that too in my own life, in the sense of I think before I was always seeking, like, okay, what's the next thing I need to learn to get to where I need to go. And this year just kind of feels like it's integrating everything.
I agree. Yes, in a very big way.
So I am excited. So I got Sedona ready. Be ready.
I know. Here we go. So exciting. Any other questions, comments before we go into meditation?
Hi, this is Marilyn. I just wanted to ask that I think I've seen in my emails, you repeat these monthly at the new moon.
I do.
And so will that continue even with your move to Sedona? I kind of came in kind of late, but.
Absolutely. I've been doing this for 12 years, and we moved from Tahoe to Pismo Beach, I don't know, 8 years ago. I started this when I was in Tahoe. So absolutely. This is one of my favorite classes to do, just because I find it so, it's great to connect with everybody, but I love the information and how it helps people stay on track with their goals. Because, you know, like many people know, you set your intentions at the new year, and then within 3 to 4 weeks, you're kind of out of the mode. And so this was my way of helping people stay on track with whatever intentions they were setting, and understanding how to work with the characters of the various lunar cycles or astrology signs also supports us, because we can get frustrated with the process and think, oh, it doesn't work for me. So by understanding what those characteristics, such as, you know, the other planetary influences, as well as what the water sign of Pisces is doing for us, will help us in understanding the processes that we're going through, because there's very few goals that we actually achieve in a 30-day time frame, right? So,
Right, absolutely.
so we need to have those tools that keep us on track, especially when we fall into those moments of doubt that this isn't really going to happen, or what am I doing? And this helps us stay on track with that. So that's why I do it. So thank you for asking that.
I do have a comment about some manifestations that I did. So I've been getting more and more into astrology in the new moon, like in a big way, like with the birth chart that you just showed, and the houses and where the concentration of the sun, the moon, and the ascendant and all of that. I still know so little, but in the last year, we had a very close family, myself and my 2 children when we were younger. And then in 2013, when he graduated from college, he moved to Texas with his girlfriend, and things became very tense and very estranged. And it was to the point where, like, a year ago, she wasn't even talking to us. She hadn't been talking to us for a few years. And I don't know what happened in July. It was like my inner core shook. But that's when I started working with learning and reading about the new moon and setting intentions. And so I have been working since probably last May with setting intentions, and then with July with the new moon and intentions. And every month I would kind of work toward, in small ways, toward that same goal. And now we actually, there was a lot of forgiveness that I had to kind of work through and go beyond and so on. And now we're all talking, and they're going to have a baby in May, and tremendously turned around with our relationship with him. And then I worked initially with my relationship with him, and then by extension, he worked with her. And then she finally started to talk to us within the last few months. So it's really exciting I on a particular goal. But another question I have, and I'm so excited with what's happened with this as a result. But I have been reading a lot about the law of attraction, and shouldn't say anything like, "Oh, I'll never be able to afford that," because then that becomes a reality. But like, for instance, there are things that I would love to put in for an intention, but I think it's not realistic. Like, I would like to have, a really nice patio in my backyard, but it's $30,000. I don't see that happening. So, but you've got this law of attraction and you've got setting intention. So how do you square all of that?
I completely understand. I'm a Capricorn, so my world is usually pretty black and white. And
me too. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay, yeah. It's probably why I had to tell you that. And I'm a financial analyst, and my top strength is strategic. So I can sit down and show you exactly how to get the $30,000, right, on that physical level. But that's not what the law of attraction is about. It's sort of about, okay, this is what my intention is, and you're taking pictures and setting the intentions on what you want the yard to look like and acting as if. In fact, we did a class a couple weeks ago on 2/2 of 2020, was a part of the manifesting group. And the act as if class was talking as if you had already achieved it. Like, oh, I love sitting on my new deck, and I've got, the Trex patio, and it never splinters my feet. And we've got this great fire pit, and it's awesome in the summer months to just sit out there and watch the flames, and, going through all the emotions that are engaged with that, and then letting go of the money, because the money piece is the universe supporting you, right? It's not, money doesn't come from you working. In fact, money, the bank is the universal bank. So it's us tapping into, well, maybe I win a scratcher and I win $30,000, or maybe, the money can come from anywhere, and we just have to be open. And that's what happened to me with Sedona. I was like, well, I could move there and I could figure out my next step. And there's plenty of things I can do remotely with, the planning, the strategic planning that I do for companies, as well as the speaking on leadership that I'm planning on. And then this whole situation opened up around a family property that's getting sold, and we all have to do a 1031 exchange or pay taxes on it. It has to be a commercial property. So I'm literally giggling because it was not on my radar. I didn't think it was, that there was any possibility of that even happening. And this all happened within the last 4 days. So,
wow.
Yeah. So it's being open to whatever that is. And granted, this goal has been on my vision board for almost 20 years, but I've moved around a lot. So I knew it couldn't happen until I was going to be in a place that I was going to be settled, and it was the right place, and it was the right type of center. Because if I would have done it even a year ago, it would have been focused more on the woo-woo side of, the healing arts. But now that I can see that it needs to be based on the leadership, and then the healing arts are a supporting capacity, it's a completely different vibe. So I bring all of this up because your job is to throw the most wild ideas out there. And I used to do this with the universe all the time. It's like, all right, show me, right? Because that's what the Capricorn wants to do. It's like, all right, it's real. And the whole yard thing, it may come in pieces. It may come in all at once. Somebody may say, oh, I need to do this, your patio and blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, it's just being open to those possibilities and not saying, oh my God, it's $30,000. I could never afford that, right? Because you're right, that becomes your reality. So it's really living in what we consider the unrealistic, and planting those seeds in our subconscious, because the subconscious can't reason. So if you're constantly telling yourself, no, I can never do that, that's too much money, then your subconscious says, oh, okay. But if I say, wow, $30,000 isn't that much for this amazing backyard, it's incredible, right? Like all of a sudden the subconscious is going, where are we going to get the $30,000? I got to figure this out because this is their reality. You're really lying to yourself to a certain extent, and to get to the place where it feels real to you. And then that moment that it starts to feel really real to you, then that's when you really start manifesting.
Great. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
It's been a joy to listen to you.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you found us and you're participating with us.
Thank you.
Oh, can I also add what you're
Phyllis going to say something. Phyllis?
Oh, okay. Just
You're so totally triggering what's something that's happening with me now, where I'm looking at properties up in Vermont and I'm thinking about, oh, wouldn't it be great to have a pool so that I could swim laps, da 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 da. But exactly the same situation of the upkeep and the costs and whatnot. And then I saw a house. It's an old house. It's on 3.5 acres, and it's next door to a resort that was built in the 20s. So basically, there's a pool like right.
And you don't have to maintain it. Huh.
Exactly. And I've been to that resort before, and they're very open, and I've heard that they actually will do like for
The locals.
ridiculously, yeah, that
Mhm.
for like $25 a month, they'll give you access to the pool, the tennis courts. So it's like, wow, wait a minute, I don't even have to build it. It's not gonna, I mean,
Right.
if that all works out 6 months from now, it might not be on the market anymore. But yeah, it just blew my mind when I saw that, because I thought, oh, that's not going to cost me anything.
And that's a really good point, because sometimes, what we think, and of course, as a Capricorn, it's like, well, I want the pool. And then you do think about, well, I've got to maintain it and blah, blah, blah. But this is an ideal situation, even though it's not exactly what you initially imagined. And that often happens with manifesting. So as you're going through this process, if it doesn't look and smell and feel exactly the way that you expected, expand your vision and see if it's coming from a different if you're coming from this very tunnel vision perspective, and if you can widen that perspective to say, oh, this could work in this situation like you just described, then you're going to manifest so much more, because it's never going to be exactly the way you expect it. It will always come in, and usually better, right? Like in that situation, you don't have to maintain the pool, especially living in a cold climate. You'd probably be able to access it in the winter, because they would have accommodations to cover the pool, or whatever it is, if it's an indoor pool. So you have options. But if you're the only one that's thinking this is the way I've got to do it, then you're shutting off possibilities. Very good. All right, Kathleen, you had a comment?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to add to what you were saying. So Jana always talks about following the breadcrumbs, and that's so two things: following the breadcrumbs, and then also looking back. Because so when you follow the breadcrumbs, you get little signs here and there, and even though it sounds crazy, it's just putting it out there. So what that does is it puts it out there to the universe, and then by you following through, it's almost like you're answering the universe back, saying, okay, I hear what you're saying. So it's almost like a collaboration with the universe. And then the second part is when you look back, there's a lot of times where you think you're going to manifest something a certain way, and then if you really look back at it, you did manifest it. It just didn't look, like you said, the way you thought it was going to. So an example that I could give is I have a friend who she does her finances for her mom, because she's always worried about her mom's finances. And she kept telling me, but it was stressing her out. So that's why she was telling, we were having a conversation about it. So she kept telling me, she's like, I just don't want my mom to worry about her finances. I don't want my mom to worry about her finances. And then I pointed out to her, I was like, well, you're getting exactly what you want, because she's not worried about her finances. You are. So it might not look that way. So when I pointed that out to her, she kind of started pulling back and realized, okay, it's like this, so it's little things like that where, you put it out there, and then you are co-creating with the universe. Or if there's things that, like Jana says, sometimes it's much better than you think it could be.
Thank you. I couldn't have said better myself. So thank you for sharing that.
Well, I learned from the best, Jana.
I am the manifesting queen. I've done it forever. Yes. And now I'm so passionate about teaching other people how to do it. So thank you all for being here. Other questions or comments? All right, well, we will go into a meditation. If you have your intentions for this new moon, you can specifically implant those into your heart as we're going through the guided imagery meditation. If you don't, this is something you can always come back to and listen to just the meditation after the fact. And then if, hold on, I'm gonna mute everybody. And also, Phyllis, I wanted to point out that when you were talking about the property, I had chills. So keep that in mind as you're looking at it. Maybe the funding or opportunity will come together faster than you think. So let go of the timeline. As we're going through this meditation, you may have other guided imagery that may be guiding you in a different place. By all means, follow it. Don't feel like you need to control the situation. The thing that I'm trying to get you out of is thinking about things and thinking, am I doing this right? And over processing and all of those things. So if you feel yourself getting caught in the monkey mind, pull yourself back into your breath and just focus on my voice. And that will help get you into that heart-centered place again. So I'm going to pop up a picture. All right. So let's get comfortable. You can do this either sitting up or lying down. Just make sure your neck and back are aligned so the energy is freely flowing through your spine and the torso. And just take your pointer finger and middle finger and gently tap over the third eye. Just gently tapping and taking some breaths, breathing in. And exhale, release. And as you breathe in, say to yourself in your mind, be here now. And exhale, release. And take another deep breath and say, be here now. And exhale, release. And now I want you to take both hands if you're able. You can just take one if you have to, and literally feel like you're opening up the third eye, just taking your hands across your forehead, opening up, allowing the spaciousness to open within the third eye. You're in a place that's safe and protected. We'll call in your guides and ancestors to make a circle around you, and they're projecting their unconditional love, allowing you to open up. Now we're going to go to the heart space, and same thing, just using your hands. Feel yourself opening up the chest, allowing your shoulders to relax, opening up and allowing yourself to breathe through your chest, through your heart. And same thing, take your arms down to the solar plexus and just feel your fingertips moving from the center of the solar plexus, drawing the solar plexus open, allowing yourself to release any pain, any suffering, any places where you're protecting the solar plexus and protecting your power. That we want to be in a very open space to allow yourself to receive divine guidance and support at this time. And just take the palms of your hands and face them up on your lap or place them to the side of your body, allowing yourself to be in a receptive place. You're safe and protected. Your guides and ancestors are watching over you. This is an opportunity for you to cleanse and release and purify. And we're bringing in the energy of Pisces, allowing this beautiful white gold light to pour in through the crown of your head. And the energy is circling into the head and the brain, lightening you up, helping you feel more enlightened and expansive, clearing away the cobwebs, any fuzziness in the third eye, your brain, any over-processing that takes place when you think too much, allowing that energy to be purified and let go. And using the breath, breathe out any heaviness you may be holding on to, any places where you feel resistance, any fears that you're not doing things correctly, or maybe the fear of letting go of control. Feel like you're in a trust circle and you're being supported that this is a time for you to trust your higher self, your guides, your ancestors. They're supporting you in achieving your goals. And imagine the energy is traveling down through your throat, helping burn away any energy about feeling your voice is unheard, or feeling the fear of speaking up and speaking your truth. That the energy from the heavens is radiating and amplifying your voice. Your goals and intentions are important, that they're critical not only for your own evolution, but for the evolution of other people. That your dreams are never too big, that it's okay for you to dream big and express big ideas and big messages. It's just learning to trust the people that you can share those with, that will expand your intuition, your insight, and give roots to your voice. And take a deep breath in through the throat. And exhale, release. And see the light. Imagine it coming down into the chest, into the heart. You're literally planting a sun within your chest, allowing your heart and soul's desires to come to fruition and planting these seeds. This would be a great time if you have specific goals and intentions with the Pisces new moon energy, that you're planting these within your heart, allowing them to be amplified and projected out into the world, sharing your knowledge, your wisdom, your passion with the world. And take a deep breath in through the heart. And exhale, release. And bring that sunlight energy down into the solar plexus, the energy center just above the belly button and below the chest. This is your power center, your gut instincts. We're going to bridge the gap between your gut instincts and the third eye, enhancing your intuitive skills, trusting your gut intuition in making that next step a reality. The solar plexus, you're bringing into physical form whatever your heart and soul desires, as well as the intuitive messages from your higher self. So with that, we want to open and expand the solar plexus to allow the light, the energy, the vibration of your higher self to support you, honoring your divinity, honoring your soul's purpose, recognizing and planting the seed, I am enough. And take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. And this light energy is moving down into the sacral center, just below the belly button and above the pubic bone. This is the space of gestation. This is where your ideas come to fruition. Begin to gestate creativity, expansion, any ideas that you're wanting to grow. This is where the seeds are being planted. This is the womb of all of your inspiration. If there are intentions that you're setting with this Pisces new moon energy, see yourself activating them from the heart. The roots are going into the solar plexus, down into the sacral center, and finally we're going to extend that energy all the way down into the earth energy. The roots are going through the bottom of your feet. You're feeling rooted, anchored, grounded, connected, especially with the right resources, opportunities, people, places, soul connection, whatever it is that you're anchoring this into physical earth. You're bringing that earth energy, the loving Mother Earth that is here, that she is compassionate, supportive, bringing the goals that you need into physical form and providing the tools and resources in physical form for you to manifest what's coming through on this etheric level, and see yourself anchoring your ideas, rooting and grounding, just like a tree. You're becoming stable and connected. And as you grow these deep roots into the earth, the energy is shooting back up through your body, just like little shoots coming through the earth, that they're extending from the roots all the way up through your body and shooting up to the heavens, where the sun is radiating and amplifying every intention that you're setting at this time. And take a deep breath in and exhale, release. And for a moment, just sit with this energy. Through this process, there's been amazing releases taking place, energy blockages, fears, past experiences that have caused you to shy away from standing fully in your power, from following your dreams, from expressing your truth and your passion. That these are being burned away, released either to the earth or sent up to the heavens, where the sun is going to incinerate it. And just allow yourself to sit in this energy, bringing your awareness to your heart, feeling yourself breathing through the heart, focusing only on your breath, tracing the breath as it comes in, and feel yourself surrender and let go as you release. And within your heart, plant the seed, I am enough. And if you don't feel it within your heart yet, in your mind's eye, say it again, I am enough. And one more time, take a deep breath in through the heart and say to yourself, I am enough. You are the divine connection between heaven and earth. All of the ideas that we have are inspired by our higher self. And this is a co-creative process between you and your higher self. This is about learning to let go and surrendering, recognizing that the higher self knows the beginning to the end. It knows your struggles, challenges. It knows your heart's desires, and it's here supporting you in releasing the fears and opening up to your highest good. And feel the energy, just like a conveyor belt, going down your back, coming back up the front through your torso, allowing the energy to completely encircle your body, letting go of anything that no longer serves you, bringing in new light, new life, new energy. Just like the breath, as you're bringing in new life, it brings in nutrients that sustains your life. And as you exhale, it releases toxicity, anything that no longer serves you. Allow the energy from within your heart to radiate and expand. The heart is the most magnetic organ in the body. It's constantly projecting a vibration, and then the universe responds to us in like. It sends back to us what we're vibrating. So when you want more good stuff, more love, better relationships, focus on the heart, expanding what it is you want to create, and breathe in that new energy, because you are enough. You're here for a reason. You have a specific purpose that contributes to the evolution of humanity. It's time to allow that light from within your heart to expand, radiating into every cell of your body, sending your body a new message that I am enough, I am deserving and worthy. And as the cells are radiating at a new vibration, you're attracting new opportunities, people, places, heightened intuition, everything that you need to achieve your goals and dreams. And take a deep breath in. And exhale, release. Express gratitude to your higher self for the guidance and support that you're receiving on an ongoing basis. And express gratitude to your ancestors, your guides that are always there supporting you. It's up to you to reach out and ask for their help. And in this moment, feel deep gratitude for yourself. Feel it within your core, your heart, your solar plexus, for honoring yourself and taking this time, for practicing and becoming proficient at manifesting your heart's desires. And as we wrap up this activity, recognize that this is an easy thing to come back to, tuning into your breath, tuning into your heart's desires, reminding yourself that you are enough. And as you bring yourself out of this activity, you may have imagery or messages or specific emotions that come up. I encourage you to write them down right away so that you remember them and can expand on them at another time. I'm going to open up the lines for final questions or comments. I'm not sure who inspired that meditation, but thank you. That was, wow, very cleansing, purifying, invigorating. Felt a lot of energy moving with all of you. I hope you were able to feel the movement as well. And if you didn't, it's okay. It's still happening, even on a subtle level. And recognize that over the next couple of days, you're going to be very open as a result of this activity. So you want to make sure that you're drinking plenty of water to release toxins, that you're aligning yourself with people that are saying yes to you and your ideas, and that if you're around other people that are putting you down in any capacity, that it's okay for you to just walk away. So recognize that it's not rude, it's about you honoring yourself. So anything interesting that came up during this meditation?
Thank you so much for telling us to say I am enough.
Thank you
That was
for
very,
bringing
very
that up.
powerful. That was very, very, very powerful for me. Just to say that out loud was very, very powerful and gave me a big sense of reassurance that I am enough, that I'm okay, and whatever it is, anything that I want to give to the world and give to my son and myself, that I am enough. I have whatever it takes to do that, no matter what I've gone through, because I've gone through some things in the past few years that were really physically traumatic. It was a big, health scare situation that happened, and it has been very okay, are you enough? Are you good enough to continue life and do things? Are you going to be able to?
Right.
Can I. So, that statement, I am enough, just really takes away that whole notion of, oh, am I going to be able to, so thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
And I'd actually take that one step further, and I actually heard this during the meditation. So I want you all to set 2 reminders a day. And the reminder is, and I have this on my phone, where it dings at 11 o'clock in the morning and it says, I am enough. And so when it rings and I look at that, I sit with it for 30 seconds and I just marinate in I am enough. You do that twice a day minimum. You can post Post-it notes all over your house. You can have background on your phone. Wherever you're going to visually tune into that, it will help you in augmenting that, and to be able to amplify it for 20 to 30 seconds will completely shift your vibe, and you'll start attracting things that you never imagined. It will become so magical and amazing that if anyone comes on this call and said, oh, that doesn't work for me, I will completely disregard that, because I know that it works. I know that it works for everybody. And that's the one thing that we're trying to overcome, is not feeling enough and dreaming too small, right? Dreaming way too small and keeping ourselves small. So this process is about you stepping into your full power, and doing that is recognizing that, like you said, that you are enough.
I am enough. Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, that's beautiful.
Other questions, comments, anything that came up during meditation that anyone would like to share?
Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. This has been so helpful.
I really appreciate you being here and supporting this process. I love doing this, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you all. So,
thank you.
Because when I first started, I had nobody show up after a while, and I was like, why am I doing this? And then somebody said, aren't we supposed to have a call every month? Not that she ever showed up to a call. And it got me back into it. And at that moment, that's when it started to expand. So thank you for participating, because that's what keeps me going with all of it.
How beautiful.
And fascinating.
It is fascinating, isn't it? And it's
fascinating.
It's being able to talk about this with people that are like-minded, because I know you all have people in your life that you start sharing stuff and they look at you with that glazed deer in the headlights look, and you're like, I need somebody I can talk to about this that gets me, right? And that's what I want this to be, as a safe place that, people can share their hopes and dreams and recognize that we're here supporting you, and that you have a whole support system, but it's finding the right support system that's going to help you in manifesting ultimately.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would like to add that when Jana said the part about I am enough, and when we start following the universe, you will have no choice but to feel like you are enough, because you are empowered with each decision that you make that's for your highest good. So even the lady who said that the pool and the house may not be ready for her yet, but it is kind of ready for you. And I'm not saying you should do it, but I am saying to be open for it, because if it's laid out in front of you, you really only have to walk towards it.
That's beautiful.
And then when you do that, you get more empowered with each step that you take, and you start believing. And then you know that you're enough, right? That that's really what it is. That so many times people tell us that we aren't enough.
So often.
Yeah. So then it's your confidence goes down, because it's like, oh, everyone's telling me I'm not enough. And then when you start walking towards your vision and your goal and what's best for you, your body just takes on a different shift or different weight. You carry it differently.
Yes, absolutely.
And the autopilot effect.
It becomes like autopilot. And even releasing the things, she's always saying release the things and I've been releasing the things for a while that don't longer serve. And when I finally committed to it and really felt that I can live not so much felt that I could live without it as much as felt I could believe that this was for my highest good, because that's really what it is. You don't, it's like, how can this be for my highest good to get rid of my favorite thing? So you don't get rid of it. But when you do, again, you've made a decision, so you're empowering yourself to move forward, and you're not stuck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Right now, that's why. It's fresh in my mind.
I love it.
Beautiful.
But that's the beauty, is for those that aren't manifesting what they want, is to have other people that say, yes, you know, I disbelieved that this would happen for me, and then I had these miracles happen, and it can happen for you too. So we draw from each other's experiences, as well as when you do start manifesting things that you want,
2 hours.
and literally mushrooms, right? You're like, oh my God, I manifested this. What else can I create?
Exactly.
That's where the magic really begins, because you're limitless. And when we can tap into that unlimited potential, that's where you really start to shine and see who you are. But we have to overcome, you know, and tear away all the mud that's been caked on us over the years, and allow that golden Buddha within to shine.
And I will warn you, you will have to walk away. Just like she said, if there are people who are not supporting you, or you feel negative, you will have to walk away from them, you know, even if it's just for that moment, because you do not want to put that mud back on you that you've cleaned off. Because as soon as you poke your head through, someone's going to say, oh my God, look at her head. And then as you grow, you'll have
and where's the rest of you, right?
Exactly. And then and you'll have to take those steps away from people, and it could be even your family.
Right. Yeah. It is. It's hard, because we want to bring everyone along, and sometimes we just have to be the example. And in us being the example, it gives other people the opportunity to really tune into their dreams, because we all have fears about them. Will this really happen? Is this too big? You know, every fear and doubt that can possibly come in has held us back. But when we start manifesting, and we're able to step away from the people that are saying no, and really honor ourselves in that process, we're actually giving them permission to stand in their power as well. So recognize that what you're doing may be very difficult if you're the pioneer, but in the long run, you're going to help them grow and shine as well. So there's no point in staying small. It's about you standing tall and honoring that part of you.
Beautiful.
Any final questions or comments before we wrap up today? I was going to say tonight, but I'm used to doing this at night, right?
Right. Not exactly. I guess we'll just keep us posted about your Sedona thing.
Oh, I will. And I want to hear from you, because I want to know.
Oh, I'm going to contact you. I'm calling you right after we hang up.
Awesome. All right, everybody. I want to thank you so much for being here today. I know that Saturdays aren't always the easiest. I know for some people it's easier. But I'm just always so honored and grateful that y'all show up, right? In a big way, because it supports all of us. And that's my goal, is to empower women especially, but empower people with their goals and dreams. And I know what it feels like to walk through the difficult situations. I've had plenty of those in my life, and recognize that, you know, I can relate to you, and I'm authentic with that ability to connect on that level. So thank you all. I hope you have a fabulous Pisces new moon. Wrap up this astrology year, and let's get ready to rock with the new astrology year next month with the Aries new moon. So thank you all. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you next month.
Thank you, Jana.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.